At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability, ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Deep Dive. We are diving into a name you've probably seen a lot in the news lately.
Abbott, yeah.
But there are two Abbotts that we're going to be looking at today.
Okay.
And that is Texas Governor Greg Abbott and healthcare giant Abbott Laboratories.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we get a whole bunch of news articles, press releases, all that good stuff.
Okay.
And it seems like those two worlds are colliding in a very interesting way.
Oh, cool.
So you ready to connect the dots?
I'm fascinated to see where this goes.
All right, let's start with some heat down in Texas.
All right, okay.
Governor Abbott's taking kind of a hard line on immigration.
Right.
Specifically, this billboard campaign targeting folks in Central America and Mexico.
Yeah, those billboards are something else.
Yeah.
We've seen that strategy before in different forms, domestic, international, trying to really have that immediate impact, deter people from making the journey.
Yeah, and one billboard in particular asks, and I'm quoting here, "How much did you pay to have your daughter raped?"
Wow.
So pretty strong language.
It's definitely meant to get your attention, appeal to fear, but it's hard to say how effective it really is.
Right.
There's so many different factors that go into migration, economic opportunity, violence, family ties.
Exactly.
It's a complicated issue.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just billboards. Texas is offering up like over 1,000 acres for new migrant detention centers.
Right. And that seems to line up with what the incoming administration wants to do, strengthen the border. So Texas is really positioning itself to be a major player, which will definitely affect how things actually play out on the ground.
Okay, so we got this super heated political landscape happening, right?
Yeah.
But now let's switch gears a little bit to Abbott Laboratories.
Okay.
And they're making waves for innovation, not immigration policies.
Right.
They just settled a pretty big patent dispute with Dexcom. Yeah. Big player in the CGM market.
Yeah. Continuous glucose monitoring.
That's right. And what's interesting about this settlement is that no money changed hands.
Oh, wow.
Which is not typical.
Really?
Yeah, especially with these high-stakes cases in a market that's growing so fast.
Right.
It really speaks to how confident Abbott is in their own technology. They feel like they can stand on their own 2 feet and still compete.
Interesting.
So this could mean we see some changes in the CGM landscape.
Okay.
Less focus on features, more on strategy and legal stuff.
So would you say that this is kind of a sign that we're about to see some big legal battles in this?
I think so. Every company wants to protect their IP. And with so much money on the line,
right,
I think things could get pretty heated.
Yeah. And speaking of strategic moves, Abbott also recently announced a massive share buyback program.
Oh, yeah. $7 billion worth of stock.
Wow.
Big signal. They're feeling really good about the future.
Right.
I mean, a buyback like that boosts the stock price. Rewards shareholders.
Okay.
Shows that they think the stock is undervalued.
So two very different Abbotts, both in the news.
Absolutely.
For very different reasons.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
But I feel like it gives us a peek into the things that are shaping the world. On one hand, these debates about immigration, policy, border security, all tied into politics and changing demographics.
Right, and then you've got this cutting-edge biotech company pushing the limits of healthcare, which shows how fast technology is moving these days.
It's amazing. And I mean, it seems like two totally separate stories, but they could intersect.
Definitely. And I think it's worth thinking about how as this technology, like continuous glucose monitoring, gets more sophisticated, more widespread, the data it generates could be used in ways we haven't even thought of yet.
Right.
Well, who knows, maybe even in discussions about border security or immigration policy.
Wow.
It's not something we're talking about now.
Right. But it's something to keep in mind.
That's food for thought.
Definitely something to consider.
So we explored Texas politics, the high-stakes biotech world.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
And got a glimpse of what the future might hold.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time.
See you later. Bye.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you. paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.